Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 7 of Getting Started with Certifications. If you are new here, welcome. Thank you for joining. If you've been here in the past, thank you for continuing to come back. I really appreciate you showing up. Today, we are going to be talking about the ACA-900, which is the Jira Software Essentials, which is the very first associate certification. See a number of people coming in chat. Thank you for jumping in. Hello, welcome. So I want to start off by just saying the thank yous up front to the Atlassian certification team. I don't know if Joanna or Ree are here yet, but thank you guys for continuing to provide content that I am able to put out in this form. There we go, Ree. Thank you. I appreciate you being here. Thank you guys for having content. I wouldn't be doing these if there wasn't regularly certification content for me to talk about. Yes, this is my new room in the new place. I have moved in. I have got it relatively set up the way I want. So, yes, we're all set to go. To my fellow community leaders and creators who have joined in, Andy, I see you there. Thank you for coming out to support this. I always appreciate your support as well. And finally, to everyone else who's here, these would not exist without you having the desire to want to learn about these. The fact that this stream is something that people have deemed important enough to come out and watch, I really appreciate that. They wouldn't happen if they weren't something that you found interesting. So, Ree's going to probably panic a little bit because I put some things in here without telling her about them. Where are we right now? So July, we are currently doing Jira Software Essentials. We're going to start running through a bunch of the associate certifications now. I have a couple of things that I have just put placeholders in. I'm hoping we can talk about them at those times. I have to talk with Rhea and Joanna a little bit more about when we can do those sorts of things. But this will just give you a rough idea of what I'm planning out for the rest of the year. We do these once a month, usually on the second Monday of the month at 12 noon Eastern Standard Time. So, just to give you a little bit about me, I am an Atlassian customer first. I manage all the Atlassian stack, which is cloud enterprise for a cybersecurity company. I have been an admin for more than 10 years, and I have managed the range of things from a startup doing a Jira server, a Bitbucket server with a Bamboo, to doing a cloud migration, and now being 100% on cloud with Jira Software, Service Management, and Confluence. I've done the gambit of things. I currently hold 10 active certifications, so I know a little bit about this topic, and it's one that I'm very passionate about. Would this be the same meeting link each month? Polly, no. What you'll want to do is you'll want to subscribe to the live learning chapter, and I will just quickly throw that into the chat because I have it there. That will give you updates on what events are coming up, not just mine, but everyone's. And you'll want to check out all of those. So when I have a new one go up, it will be there. So that will be one we're talking about. Joanna, I will mention that. I do have an actual slide for that comment, but yes, thank you. The ACA-900 will be coming up on Wednesday. I'm not seeing the live session. Ooh. Not seeing the live session. Am I live? I should be. We should be seeing things, right? Sorry, and then back on things. I am live. Okay, perfect. I am also an online community leader in Atlassian Creator, which is where we get things. We can see you. Perfect. Okay, thank you. So, that is a little bit about me. Housekeeping for this episode. You can hear me too. Perfect. That's fantastic. I got everything connected properly. This is actually my first test of all this equipment, making sure it works here. We're going to try and prioritize questions that relate to this exam first, but if you've been here before, you know that we generally have time to get to all the questions, and we will try and answer everything. If you think of something afterwards, be sure to go to the training and certification collection in the online community. I will have a link at the end of this that will be a place that you can ask additional questions, and there's plenty of people there, myself, a number of the people that are in chat that are more than happy to try and help you answer the questions. And lastly, if you were here for last month's session where we talked about how to renew your certifications, don't forget to take note of this one. It will count towards any of your active certifications when you can start the renewal process, which I think is within about a month that portal will be live. This session will count towards renewing any certifications you currently have active. So with that, let's switch gears. And we are going to talk a little bit more about the university site itself. So if you have never gone to university.atlassian.com, you will get a screen that looks like this, and you will have a little login button. If you have not created an account, it will prompt you to enter your credentials or to create an account. This will be the same account that you use for any of your Atlassian products, generally cloud products, how to get into the community. You're going to use that same ID to get there. And when you do that, you're going to get a screen that looks more similar to this one with your little profile avatar, if you have one, in the top corner. So from here, we are going to go to the Get Certified link. And we are going to specifically be talking today about the available associate certifications. Now, before we dive right into the Jira Software Essentials, the one thing I wanted to talk a little bit about was the associate certifications themselves. We've covered nothing but the professional certifications so far, and this associate level tier is kind of that next step. So if you came into the university, one of the first things you'd want to learn is the fundamental courses, and you get a little badge that's part of your university profile for learning the basics. And you start to get more familiar with things, and you're like, well, where do I go next? And that's what these associate certifications are mainly for, because getting to the professional certifications, you're more likely going to be an administrator, and you're going to be much more seasoned. All of them do have disclaimers of, anywhere from 6 months to a year's worth of hands-on experience, usually within an administrative capacity to get to them. So these certifications are more for you as a power user wanting to, put a feather in your cap for knowing stuff about the Atlassian products without necessarily being an administrator. So people who earn these certifications are probably good candidates to become an administrator at some point in the future. As such, these certifications are a little bit easier than your professional ones. They have fewer questions, and they have a shorter time period for completing them. So if we come and start looking at the Jira Software Essentials, what we can see right off the bat is, what knowledge you're going to validate, what you're going to learn. The one thing I do want to start with is reading the full details, because specifically the one that's worth looking at is who this is intended for. So if you want to know if this is a right fit for you, I can hear you. Maybe my video isn't working. Okay, that's good to know. I'm not sure why it's not working for you, but it is for others. So if you are wondering if this is the right, something right for you, these are just sort of some of the career profiles that are recommended. As far as, who might be the right type of person to be taking this type of an exam. And then we continue on to the what things it's going to test your knowledge on. So as we have had in the past, the exam topics list, this here lists out the, in sort of a brief detail, what's going to be covered and the percentages that they're going to be covered. So, basic concepts, generally going to be the things that you're going to find in that fundamentals course. Jira navigation being 16%, the bulk of things being working with issues, and then issue lifecycle, workflows, and boards being the final 12%. Looking at the exam details, you'll see that these associate exams are a little bit cheaper. And I think that's because Atlassian wants them to be a little bit more accessible to people so that more people will have an opportunity to learn them. They have a passing score of 72%, which I know just from the work I have done in the past, the passing score is based upon the likelihood that people are going to be able to complete the exam questions. You have only 60 minutes on one of these, but only 25 questions. So normally with one of the professional ones, I think you get 180 minutes, so about 3 hours. But you generally also have about 75 questions. So, 1/3 of the questions, 1/3 of the time. Proctored or online. So if you have watched episode 1, where I talk about how you get your environment ready for an online exam or how you prepare for going to a testing center, these ones are also in that exact same realm as the professional ones, as far as you'll need to go through PSI, or you'll need to go to a certified testing center, and you're going to take the exam under the exact same conditions as you would one of the professional ones. You just have fewer questions to do and a slightly shorter time period. What's really great about this page is it then goes into the free on-demand training as far as what you can do to prepare for this exam. This course gives you a whole bunch of things, again, all free, that can help you get started in getting prepared for it. There's also a prep Trello board template that can help you sort of set up a study guidelines for things. And then on both pages, the other thing that is mentioned here, it is just on this one. There are some resources into the community, such as that training and certification collection I talked about earlier, for helping you go and look for information in the community with questions that other people have asked, or you can just ask your own questions there to sort of crowdsource some assistance and answers. Additionally, there is live training. It is paid live training, and I believe the courses are for up to 15 people. So if you are looking at rolling this out as, a bunch of people wanting to take this certification, it's a company initiative, you can pay for either online or on-premise live training with a training instructor who can go through the course materials and preparing for that with you. So that is a lot about the various information that's here on how to prepare for, what is available to you in order to start preparing for this. As a reminder, since there is free coursework to look at here, any other certifications you have taking these courses, even if you don't intend to complete the certification, is still going to give you credit towards renewing those certifications. Unfortunately, they won't help you in renewing the certification you were going to take, but it's definitely something that can help you get prepared for some of the other ones that you have. I'm going to pause here for a second, see if there is any questions that people have up front right off the bat as it relates to this certification. And while I do that, we will just move back on over to some of the other things that we can talk about. Taking courses that prep for an exam can be used to extend other certifications when renewing program modules. Yes, thank you, Marie. I appreciate you confirming that information that yes. So if we go to this maintain your certification here, this whole page went live last month. The program itself is not live yet. I think we're expecting August timeframe for that being live, as far as being able to enter values for the CE credits earned in the CertMetrics portal. So it's one of those things where if you take the course for preparing for the certification, it's coming very soon, just wrapping up UAT. Awesome. Thank you, Ree. I appreciate that. So yes, if you take that course, that is worth 10 credits. For these associate ones, you need 50. For the professionals, you need 100. So it's anywhere between 10 and 20% just for taking the course. question came in, curious where to start if I'm interested in a Jira administrator path. So the one thing I'm going to recommend, this is outside of necessarily certifications, but the university has this thing called learning paths. And if you are looking at becoming a Jira administrator, there is a becoming an effective Jira admin. I would recommend starting there, where you can learn the what things are best. Again, all of that training is free. So it's one of those things where this is the best way to get started on how to become an administrator. Are there available any preparing tests or simulation tests? I believe, and keep me honest on this one, that as a part of the course that is here, there are questions interlaced in the course itself. I don't think there's an actual sample test you can take, but I believe that there are questions interlaced in here. Yes, there are knowledge checks. But I am correct. There is no actual sample test that someone could just go in, write 10 to 15 questions and, check to make sure that they did well or not. If selecting multiple exams, is there any particular order in which they should be done? Neil, I love this question because it gets asked a lot, and my answer to that is it depends on what you're working with. So I'm going to go back to the associate certifications here. And if you look at what's available today, they're definitely trying to expand the number of them that are available. But Jira software, if you're using Jira software on a day-to-day basis, I'd start there. Jira software board configuration, in my personal opinion, I think that would be an extension on the software essentials. Confluence essentials. I think it's pretty obvious that if you're using Confluence, that's probably a good one to start with. If you are more on the Jira service management side of things than the Jira software side of things, that's probably a good starting point there instead of the Jira software essentials. But again, all of these are worth looking at. If you're looking to start, you can't really go wrong with any of them. They all have a course that's designed to help you have all the knowledge you should need in order to pass the exam, as a part of the course that's included with them. I see that a flurry of things happened, so let's just see. What are the best resources in preparing for that exam? I see only the learning paths. I've been told by students in the project management course I support that they didn't feel prepared. I would be curious to know, Polly, if they were talking about the professional certifications or the associate certifications, because from my understanding, the associate certifications and this preparation course that's there should give you everything that you need to know about earning that certification. The certification prep courses for the professional certifications, I would say, is more of a review of things, but you should have been already an admin in whatever capacity for the exam you're taking for about a year before you're looking at taking any of the professional ones. So I'd be curious to know just exactly what they were referring to there. Anything specific for the ACP 620? There is... I'm just trying to remember which one. So if you go into the live streams for my channel, we did cover the 620. I want to say it was one of the second or third episodes that we did, where we talked about that. And I would just go and review that because we definitely talked about what resources are available for you for looking at that one. But yes, as Joanna has said there is a whole prep course for the 620 there. They said they were not prepared for the associates. Okay, that's an interesting comment. I don't I'm going to say that I'm not sure if I'm the right person to really comment on how difficult they are. I've been an admin for 10 years, so a lot of that stuff comes pretty naturally to me. Um, as far as having been there, I will definitely solicit some feedback, though, from people that I know who are a little bit newer as far as whether they feel prepared for taking one of those exams. But yeah, I'm not sure what to tell you other than I feel like the course gives you enough information to be able to pass that exam, but that's my opinion. If someone else does not feel prepared, their opinion is not wrong. It's just different than mine. Okay. Do we have any other questions as it relates to the Jira Software Essentials exam? Or for that matter, any other certification questions? The material for the associate certifications is not enough. And the sample questions in each chapter are definitely not enough in order to pass the exam. We cannot be prepared with those small courses. They're very beginner folks. Okay, so I'm going to say this much. This is the best way to provide this feedback. Joanna, tell me, is there a mechanism within the course itself for people to provide their feedback on what they would like to see expanded upon? Or what would be the best way for them to provide that feedback to the university and certification team to sort of review what could be done to make the course a little bit more verbose if people are feeling that there's not enough in order to be able to pass the certification? Not within a course, but support ticket would be awesome. Okay, I can help with that. Let's get a link for people so that they can get a support ticket. Just bear with me. I will pass you a link which will help you with exactly what you're looking for. There is, if you go to, come on, let me grab the link here. That's what we want. All right, let's throw that down into chat. So if you go to support.atlassian.com/contact, within there, there is a drop down that says, what can I help you with today? Actually, let me just bring this on over here. We can just do it here. We'll do it live. We'll show it off. So on this page, there is this. Oh, that's really right. That's really small. Let's zoom that in a bit. Let's see if I can zoom that in. There we go. That's bigger. Okay. So on this page, what can I help you with? Training and certification is one of the options you can select. And then you can talk about whether it's a course or training, badges, community, whatever. Sounds like it's course specifically. And then you can talk about, course or technical issues, describe what course it is, what platform, summary description, and you can sort of provide your feedback on what you would like to see done better with the courses if you're feeling that they're inadequate for training. That, I think, is your best way to reach out to the training team, and they will review that feedback. Cool. Thank you for that. And Joanna, thank you for helping provide the right direction for allowing people to provide their feedback, because I think that is the only way things are going to get better, is when people are able to say what is or is not working well, and then we can iterate on them. Okay, so we have covered a bunch of the different things here. We have talked a little bit about some of the questions. If anyone has any other questions, I'll be honest, I don't have a lot to talk more about as far as this one, other than, there is a preparation course. We have discussed that it may or may not be to your satisfaction. I would recommend that Maybe if you are not finding that the course alone is good enough, the one thing that might be worth doing is, if I can find, let's just go to the beginning and talk about the exam details. So we know that the things that we're going to be covered is going to be basic concepts, navigation, working with issues, and the issue lifecycle, workflows, and boards. Might be worth going and taking a look at some of the documentation, going to the online community and asking some people, how they prepared for it. The training and certification collection here is a great place to just come in, ask a question, and say, hey, I'm looking at taking the ACA-900, Jira Software Essentials, and sort of say, what did people do as far as preparing to take this? And, it might be even worth just looking here and seeing if anyone is talking about that certification and what they might want to do to, what you might want to do as far as preparing yourself. You can also create a free instance and practice. Great point, Ree. Yes. You can also just create a cloud instance and start playing with the features. That is by and far the best way, at least for me, to learn is by getting hands-on with things. And a free instance is a great way to do that. If I don't achieve the passing grade, is it possible to retake for free? Rhea and Joanna, I believe you can help me answer that question. I don't believe there are free retakes on the exams. So that is probably not going to be the option. I do know that every once in a while there are free vouchers so that the certification team hands out. So you might want to keep an eye out for those sorts of things. Is the exam just multiple choice questions, or are there questions where we have to actually use Jira and do demos? There are no demos and actually using Jira on the test. It is all multiple choice. And as of now, I believe that the questions only have a single answer. So there's no more of the questions that said, and I know in the past there were sort of a select 2 or select 3 reasons that might be. They've done away with that. And now it's just there is a single answer. And so when the question is asked, you are looking for the most correct answer based upon the information that is available to you in the question. Cool. Looking at time, we do have some time, or we have a couple more minutes for some questions. If yay single answer, those are the toughest as they're all really close to each other. I will say that they can be challenging. I personally think the selecting 2 or 3 can be more challenging, because I'm usually pretty confident in, like, when it's selecting 3, I'm usually confident in 2, and then I don't know beyond that. So it's one of those things where I can get a question wrong, even though I got 2 out of the 3 right. As far as selecting the single answer, the thing that I generally like about the way that things have been structured for this is you can very easily, if you look at some of the sample questions that are interlaced, there's usually a reason for why every wrong answer is wrong. And as long as you can figure out what's wrong about all the wrong answers, that usually points you in the right direction to what the right answer is. Okay, if we are coming to the end of questions, is there a standing, like the deprecated certified expert, once you pass a specific or all of the available ACA exams? If not at the moment, are there any plans to introduce that? Okay, I was just about to say, Ree, I'm going to let you comment on whether you wanted to say that it's coming soon or not. So yes, coming soon. I had it listed, if I go back to the presentation here, and if we go back, so my hope, and Ree, I'm gonna out right now, my hope is that we can talk about that sometime around here, maybe, possibly, we'll see. So it's one of those things where, yes, coming soon, but hopefully there's more to come about that. Since things are wrapping down, I am going to just quickly do a little bit about so what is coming next. And the first thing, Joanna already mentioned it, but please go to the live learning chapter, and more specifically to this event. I will put the link to this event directly into the chat. Joanna is going to be talking about the newest certification that just came out, the ACA-900, which is all about Confluence Essentials. It launched maybe a week or two ago, so definitely worth signing up for that to learn all about everything that is coming for that with Confluence. Next, I was asked that there is a certification subject matter expert program that Atlassian has started up. And if you consider yourself an expert in any capacity, I would highly recommend that you check out the article I wrote, which was actually based upon the ACP-920. I was fairly heavily involved in it. And that gives you a behind-the-scenes look of what's involved in being a part of creating a certification. And if you think that you might be interested based on that, there is a public page that the certification team has put out where they are looking for more experts to put into their pool of people interested in helping out with things. So if you think that this is something you might be able to help out with, the 2 links there, I'd recommend checking out the article. It'll give you a bit of a behind the scenes look of what's involved in that program. And then if it's something that you're interested in, go check out their public page and consider applying to be a part of the program so that you can lend them a hand in trying to make certifications better in the future. Note, you don't need to be an admin to join the subject matter expert program. Thank you, Ree. That is a very good point. You don't need to be an admin. You just need to have a passion to want these exams to be good and to know enough information that you can intelligently look at the questions and see where there may be some issues, or maybe not. So, unless there are any final questions, I will just throw this up here and just say, please go and join the live learning chapter. The live learning chapter itself has a whole bunch of people like myself who are talking about various topics. It doesn't have to be just certifications. There are people talking about Jira, Jira Service Management, software, Confluence, Loom, Atlassian Intelligence. There are tons of people doing a whole bunch of different things. So go check out that chapter and all the people that are doing all the amazing things there. I would also recommend that you go to the training and certification the training and certification group within the online community. That is your best place to ask questions as they relate to anything certification or university course to learn some more things. And with that, I appreciate everyone being here, asking questions. Ree, Joanna, thank you for helping to answer some of those things. And if there is nothing further, I will give it 2 minutes maybe. We will call it a day. So thank you for being here. And I know it's a little bit of a shorter one today, but that's not always a bad thing. Awesome. All right. So enjoy the rest of your week, and I will see you next month, where we will talk a little bit more about the 905, the Jira software boards. Thank you. Have a great one.